Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Day 2.
Let's go.
Woodward Nights is back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Day 2. Welcome back, everybody.
This is the biggest day of them all.
Dude, I know that nerves are gone.
Day 1 was the premiere. Day 2.
This is where we really start to hit the ground running.
Oh, and 24 hours. Look, it's 8:01 right now.
24 hours and 23 minutes?
24 hours, 23 minutes until the Detroit Lions kick off the NFL season and beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's go, dude. How pumped are you?
I cannot wait. I've been buzzing all day. I was at work all day. I couldn't stop thinking about. We're prepping for the show, and the only thing I could think is Detroit Lions. We have that literally all day today. Is Detroit Lions talk basically.
It's going to be fantastic.
Cannot wait.
We do mix it around the NFL a little later on in the show, but we're going to be talking heavy Lions versus Chiefs. But first, let me reintroduce you to our team here in the sound booth. We got Nick.
Let's go,
Nick
boys.
on the ones and twos.
It's like Christmas Eve all over again. Let's get
I love
after
that
it.
shirt too. That little olive green button up.
There we go.
Also, that stash is looking nice, Nick.
Appreciate you, Broder.
In the TD booth, the technical director booth, Jalen.
Yo,
Jalen is
what's
back.
going on, boys?
Dude, I'm Matt Broder, co-host of the show, 4th most athletic employee at Woodward Sports.
Yep.
And I'm joined here by Booner. This is the most dangerous man with the bet slip in his hand.
I'm Booner, baby.
Booner.
Let's go football.
Dude, Booner, how
Let's
you doing
go.
today? You ready?
I'm doing great. I feel great. I appreciate everyone tuning in. And today, I'm going to set a goal out for us. Let's hit 300 likes while we're live.
That would be incredible,
Let's
Booner.
hit 300 likes while we're live. We already have 70 people in the chat here. Let's all just smash the like button. 50 before the first 30 minutes. And I'm ready for a great night.
Smash
Detroit Lions football. I don't know what else to say
Dude,
here,
I can
man.
feel it
I'm
oozing.
so pumped.
It's oozing out of your veins. So let's tell them what we're going to be talking about today. Then we'll just kind of get into our little intro here. We got some fun stuff planned.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be talking. We're going to ease into this a little bit. Second segment, we're just going to kind of get the feel of the room, the confidence level, how we're feeling going into this game tomorrow. After that, we're going to be talking about the key Chiefs players that are out. You know, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. I guess there goes the tease. I just revealed that. But everybody's been talking Lions all day long, so no biggie. Then we're just going to start breaking down this game. Key matchups. What can the Lions do to actually come out victorious? Also, who's under the most pressure? On the Chiefs side, on the Lions side, we're going to be talking about it all. Then we're going to end this show a little later on with predictions. We're going to be talking all NFL predictions, MVP. We went Lions yesterday, but now we're going all NFL. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all the good ones. Then we're going to finish it with another mailbag, or maybe we change the name like a Ask Me Anything, an AMA, just to separate ourselves from the morning show.
Maybe we'll through the chat once we get to mailbag, maybe we can have them throw out a couple names for our mailbag and see what the best one is.
That would be fantastic.
That would be awesome. And we would do throughout the whole time too. We want to be able to get what the chat kind of has to feel when we kind of get the feel about the Detroit Lions, different MVPs, all these different things. The chat, you guys will be very, very involved with this. So I say we get started and kind of get right into things here.
Let's do it. But first, so yesterday was our first day. And I got to admit, there was so much going on. I wasn't as interactive with the chat throughout the show. But when I went back home and rewatched it, I was studying how we did. I got to see some of your guys' comments, and it was incredible. I think we actually got a couple to show you. This might be a recurring theme at the show, but Jalen, do you have that graphic could you put up about the top comments? There we are, in no particular order, although in the chat we would love to hear your favorite ones. Anthony Woods. Y'all look like characters from Bob's Burgers.
I'm not gonna lie, hand up. I've maybe watched one episode of Bob's Burgers.
I'm in the same boat. Have you guys seen Bob's Burgers at all?
I've seen it.
That might really.
Yeah.
That is Bob with the mustache, right? And Gene's his brother on Bob.
So I'm Gene. Is Gene like he looks younger?
He does.
Which
he
I
does.
guess that works because Broder's like 40 years older than me. So
I'm an old man. Lorena Reyes, and it's bolded. It's orange because that's how it shows up on my screen. But he says Broder looks like a villain on the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. That brought up some memories for me. I used to
I'm
watch
not gonna
Rocky and
lie.
Bullwinkle.
if you guys saw Broder in person, it's even more real. I'm
Dude.
not gonna lie, man.
Stash baby.
I don't know who that guy is, but I've seen that picture. I've seen that character in that cartoon. Bro, that might be your twin brother.
Hey, I can be a villain. Rocky and Bullwinkle, though, they're a dynamic duo, right?
Yeah.
Lastly, if you could pull it up real quick, Apollo. We're going to need a fall guy if Sam Flannel is the fall guy. They were actually a handful of pretty funny Sam Flannel slander tweets. I don't like to jump on the bash
We
Sam
love
Flannel.
Flannel.
We do love Flannel. But you guys say some funny stuff.
We love Flannel. There's no fall guy on this show. We're Broder and I think, doing this show, and I think it's pretty well known. We might be the two nicest and like walking around smile on our face guys at the network, unless I get in like an argument with like maybe Lucas, who's over there right now. But like, we might be the happiest people at Woodward, always
think so.
smiling. So there's no fall guy here. I don't even know if we had to pick a fall. I don't even know who a fall guy would be.
It'd be hard to pick. It'd be hard to pick.
It would be.
Booner, before you tell our viewers about the Woodward and Maine show that is debuting tomorrow morning.
It is. For all the inside scoops on your Detroit Lion, it is the Woodward and Maine show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. Episodes will be 2 times a week, Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays 7 to 8 to 8 a.m. But it will premiere tomorrow, actually, from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Instead of Rivals, it will be live tomorrow here in studio for you guys on the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys tune into that for all the breakdowns for the game tomorrow night, all the in-depth reports, everything you need here on the YouTube channel, the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Love it. Love it. So before we get into this, you saw those comments. Sometimes there will be some that we miss, but head over to either my Twitter or to Booner's Twitter. We just started a thread. If you guys see some funny comments throughout the show, screenshot them, throw them in that Twitter thread. We'll be sharing them on screen moving forward. So let's get into it. Before we jump into the Lions, there was a tweet I saw out there about Shedeur Sanders today. And some of the NIL money he's been making, these new deals that some of these college football players, college athletes in general, are getting. You see it up on the screen. He's now projected to make $3.8 million through
So
NIL
much
this
money.
season. That's up $2.5 million from before his breakout game against TCU this past weekend. It gets exciting as we go down. Sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I just had a question for you guys
Hit me.
with this, because we have two back-to-back things here in the first segment about NIL or NLI or whatever it is. I feel like these players deserve this money. I don't know if I've never seen anyone on the other side where it's like, these guys don't deserve this much money, because they're out there. He's putting up a name, and obviously I know his dad is primetime Deion Sanders, and he has that name following him. Who cares, though, dude? Let some of these guys go make that money. I love this. This is like the best thing to see out of college football, I think, right now, is the fact that some of these dudes can go make money, and they're performing, and they're putting like numbers up. Maybe not numbers on like television wise as NFL, but they're competing with NFL numbers on those big time games. That Colorado game, give me the numbers for the cable TV on that, or the streams. I bet you it's right up there almost with tomorrow night.
I bet you their next game is going to be even higher, even
Exactly.
higher. To see him making more than Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, some of these guys on their first-year rookie deals that are superstars already in the NFL is crazy. I'm with you. I think it's still a little NAL's Wild Wild West. To me, they rolled it out a little too fast, a little too disorganized, but the general idea of it, I agree with.
And Coach Walk, these guys are making more than NFL backups quarterbacks. They should be. They're bringing in eyes on TVs more than any NFL quarterback.
Billions.
NFL quarterbacks, they should have been able to make this money in college as well. Like, go look at some of these NFL backup quarterbacks who were elite in college and didn't get a dime off of it. And people bought their jerseys. People watched all of these games. There was all these commercials for them, everything, all autographs that they could have signed, and they weren't able to make a dime off of their name. Let these kids do that when they can, as long as you're able to kind of control it to make sure people aren't just getting, crazy things are happening.
Yeah.
But if he can go make $3 million while he's in college, let the man do it. It's
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, dude.
He's the one performing.
When I was in school in Ann Arbor, I went to the University of Michigan. Before I got there, before my era there, the jerseys that were sold in the M-Den and all the stores, Meijer, Target, everywhere were usually number 1 and number 2. 2 for Charles Woodson and number 1 because it's pretty generic. I went to school when Denard Robinson was the quarterback, and just all of a sudden, you start seeing these number 16 jerseys pop up. Denard Robinson wasn't able to make a dime off his name, image, and likeness. And he was on the cover of NCAA football, EA Sports, NCAA football.
Does anyone know? I had this question a couple days ago. If anyone watched the Johnny Manziel documentary, when Reggie Bush, I think Jalen just put it in here. Obviously, Reggie Bush had that stuff where the Heisman got stripped because I think someone in his family took money, or something happened like that. Johnny Manziel came out straight up in this documentary and said, I took money for autographs, like I was taking money from people, I was doing all this, and he still has his Heisman. So how does Reggie not have a Heisman right now?
I don't have an answer for you there.
I think for Reggie, though, I think it was an example for him because USC was so good back then. Like, I think he took some money, maybe, possibly, but if you look at him, Tebow, I don't know, I guess Manziel too, anybody, Derrick Henry, all those guys back in the day, like Vince Young didn't win one, but he was close. They didn't get any money. Reggie Bush is still posted every day. Everybody knows him. Adrian Peterson, guys like that who are great, not just Heisman winners, they didn't get a single dime. But you still people like talking about them every day. So I don't know.
It's crazy to me. I thought of that when I watched all that NLI stuff or NIL stuff is just, to me, it's just, I like that it's happening.
Yeah.
That they're able to make money off of their names and their jerseys and autographs, all of that.
And, Coach Walk in the chat, he says, I think it's sending a bad message. They are getting a free education. And I understand that for sure about, especially some of the football players. As a team, I think they get 80 or 85 scholarships. I do get that. There is the other side. The NCAA is making so much money. The universities are making so much money. But where there's another benefit, and I don't have enough time to really go on my full rant, but it's those non-revenue producing sports like baseball. We don't get the opportunity to have as many scholarships as they do.
Yeah.
They actually, among 35 players, we had to split 11.7 total scholarships. So there wasn't a single person on full scholarship when I played at Michigan. So when I was there, I always took or when this conversation began, I always took the idea that, at the very least, maybe these players should get paid minimum wage per hour practice or played in a game. And maybe there's something where the school can hold it in a trust and save it till they graduate, or they, hit some, make sure they're going to class, or some sort of incentives for these players. But as a baseball player, we're practicing 40 hours a week during the season, 20 hours a week in the off season, and then we're expected to go play at some of these remote places where really the only job, if we can get a job while we're playing, it's mowing lawns, it's doing some very low-paying jobs. So just having the opportunity, I was never going to be the type of player that could make money off my name, image, and likeness, but there are certain players who could.
Just to be able to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And you played you played baseball. I coached college basketball for a little while. And the NCAA, they're slimy organization. If you were in college sports at all, you know that. All they want is money. That's all they care about. And the fact that they, for years, took advantage of high-end players, whether it's basketball, football, any sport, like a high-end player, an athlete, and made and profited all of this money off of their performance is one of the most ridiculous things in the world.
Tell them, Booner.
It is the most ridiculous thing in the world that they're just taking the money from a guy that's going out there and performing for the whole world to see and is making millions and billions and trillions of dollars for these random people in the NCAA. It makes no sense. So the NIL is great. I love this. Shedeur Sanders, great. We also had the one where, I know we're out of time here now, but the Caleb Williams one. I don't know if you want to throw that up real quick, but
the reason I wanted to put this up,
this is the same thing with the NIL. I think.
It is, and I wanted to put this up, and we'll just get through it real quick for two reasons. NIL gives him an opportunity to come back. He doesn't have to. I mean, he's going to be the number one pick if he goes out anyway. So it's an odd conversation, but he can stay in school. He can graduate. He can help USC or whatever team to win a championship. And then I was thinking, what if this was around when Eli Manning was coming out of school? Remember, he it was the Chargers. He refused. He was going to be the number one overall pick, and he refused to play for the Chargers. So there might have been a trade involved or whatever. He ended up, sliding to 4 to the Giants. So it was just an interesting story.
Do you know who's shaking in their boots right now because
Who?
of this? The Arizona Cardinals. I mean, maybe he would want to go play for them. I don't know, but they're
Would
the
you?
team. Yeah, in Arizona. Yeah, maybe with Gannon. I don't know, but in Arizona, yeah, for sure, I would want to go play. But like, you're just sitting there and you're tanking just to get Caleb Williams, and then this report comes out from his dad or whoever it was. If I'm that GM, I'm like, oh my gosh.
You know who's
man.
praying that he stays? Drake May, quarterback at North Carolina. That he'd easily slide right in there at the number 1 spot. But it's time for a quick break. Nick, could you tell our fans about our amazing sponsor, Academy of Warren?
At Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, and also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 latchkey that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to landscape like a legend? Register for your chance to landscape for 4-time Stanley Cup winner Darren McCarty to work for your crew for a day. That is right. Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, legend, Detroit legend, on your zero-turn, weed whipping, and edging for your favorite clients. Sign up today at OutdoorEquipCo.com. That is OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Woodward Nights. We are back. My name is Booner. We've got Broder here. We've got Jalen in the TD booth, and we've got Nick over there with the music. Great intro music. I love it. But now,
Tell them.
we are 24 hours away, exactly, for the Detroit Lions to kick the season off versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's what we're going to talk about basically all night tonight. We want to talk Detroit Lions tonight. We're going to go over everything. And we just want to start it off kind of here. I know yesterday was our first show. We kind of talked about the off season just because we haven't had any shows all off season. So we wanted to make sure all you guys knew kind of how we felt. But going into this now, we want to see where the temperature is for the game tomorrow. This is like our pregame show because we don't have our show tomorrow. And we just have it Friday. So we're going to go around the room a little bit, and we're just going to gauge the temperature around the room, confidence level going into Arrowhead. How are we all feeling? The eve of Lions football.
Let's go.
Before we do that, real quick, if you guys can just smash the like button. Let's get to 100 likes by the end of this segment here. But, Broder, I'll start with you.
Hit me.
You're the Lions beat reporter. I would love to just know kind of how you're feeling because you've been in camp the last couple weeks. You were just in Allen Park Monday. You've kind of seen them get to Kansas City. How are you feeling for this game, the confidence with all of these guys in the locker room?
I feel prepared. I feel good. I feel like the boys are ready. I feel like the Lions are ready to go. It's hard to explain, but there's like a subtle confidence that they all have. Actually, sometimes it's not subtle when you're talking to guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Kirby Joseph, and crew. But they're not revealing the excitement that they have, the confidence that they have. They just are sticking to their game plan. They're preparing for the Chiefs, who are coming off a Super Bowl victory, and they're ready to go. They aren't showing their hands that Travis Kelce might be out. Chris Jones is likely out. They aren't saying that that's going to affect them at all, but we all know it might. They're ready to go, man. I'm excited to see them. They're going to Arrowhead.
Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous.
Are you
no,
pretty,
I'm confident.
You're stoked? You're not scared?
No, I'm so stoked. I picked the Lions to win this game before we heard about these guys possibly being out. So I'm ready to go. What about you, man?
I'm feeling the same way. I wrote down here out of 10 on my prep. I wrote 15 out of 10. And I feel like every single person in the comment section right now, all the listeners, everyone in this room, every player, they should be confident in this game. They shouldn't be scared. Just going into I know it's Arrowhead. I think that's going to a lot of people who think that the Lions are going to lose is just saying Burrowhead. Shout out Lucas. A lot of people are going to think, oh, it's Burrowhead, it's Arrowhead. They're going to go in there and lose. It's a tough place to play. The stat for Reed and Mahomes are 5-0 in the week 1 there.
Andy Reid's also 9-1.
Yeah, be confident. Who cares? Go into that game. Obviously, Chris Jones out. Travis Kelce potentially out. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I'm confident. 15 out of 10. I'm coming in tomorrow for the live stream, the pregame show, and I'm confident that this team can go in there. They literally just finished the season 8-2. They didn't only just finish the season 8-2. They lost to the Eagles, the Super Bowl losers, by 3. Seattle, who was one of the best teams in the NFC, by 3. Miami, who was one of the best teams in the AFC, by 4. The Bills, another great team in the AFC, they lost to them by 3 last year. They played every single great team close. The only teams they lost to bad were the Patriots and the Cowboys, the trash Cowboys.
And the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers, I don't want to think about that ever again. But do you see what I'm saying? Every single team, even on the road, any team that just a legit team that we had to play, they competed. They were out there competing. So I'm confident. I think Dan Campbell he knows how to get these guys ready.
What I hope, I just hope that the Lions give the Chiefs their best. I'm not saying their best effort. We know they're going to give their best effort. I just hope they show up ready to play, and we see a good game. Whether that's a Lions blowout, a Lions win, or a close loss. I don't want a close loss, but I want them to give the Chiefs their best. We know the people are going to say, oh, if Travis Kelce's out, if Chris Jones is out, whatever. I want to see a good game, and they'll tell me, they had a slow start last season. They started 1-6. Yep. And we're going to talk about maybe some coaches under pressure later. They need to come out and start the season hot.
Even last year when they started 1-6, some of those games were like that Eagles game at home.
True.
3-point loss. That Seattle Seahawks game, 3 or 4 point loss. Those were games that were super close to where this year, after kind of them getting the feel of being 8-2 and knowing what they have to do to kind of get over that edge, I feel like this is a game where if you're sitting there and it's a 3-point game, it's a field goal game, a touchdown game, all of these one possessions games, they learned last year how to finish those. And that was the issue kind of at the start of the year was they just didn't know. They were young. They didn't know how to finish games.
True. Everyone's giving the Vikings a lot of slack for knowing how to finish games, though. They had 13, one possession games. They deserve a little bit more credit for that. But before we continue this conversation, let me tell you about our college football stream, because I'm curious if you love college football, because we do here at Woodward Sports. It's the Woodward Sports For the Love of College Football pregame show. Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, Easy, and many more will get you pumped up every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 10 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're a Sparty, whether you're a Wolverine, go blue, or a fan of that other team down south, we welcome you to love your Saturday with Woodward Sports.
I want it
now.
Great drop.
Nick.
Great drop, Nick.
Yeah, we'll come right to you then.
Yeah, let's do it.
How are you feeling?
I'm sitting at about a 7 out of 10. Because like you said, Booner, that Eagles game last year and that Seahawks game, they had 2 mobile quarterbacks. And we know Pat Mahomes is the best in the business at getting out of the pocket and making things happen. But that's where I want to start this one. I'm at a 7 because I'm so excited to see this offense, but it's that defense and how can we contain Mahomes. That's where I don't lean all the way 10 out of 10 confidence with it, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Jalen. Andy Reid's 9-1 in his last 10 season openers. Patrick Mahomes in his last 5 that he started, 5-0. How How you feeling going into Arrowhead?
Well, one, Jared Goff hasn't lost against the spread week 1 his whole career.
Whoa!
So that's one thing. Shout out to my boy G for that information. But also, I'm 10 out of 10. Maybe.
Confidence?
We can do 9 or 10. I don't want to be perfect, but I'm not worried because Patrick Mahomes doesn't have any, threats receiving-wise. Travis Kelce will be hampered. He's not going to play, 100%. Kadarius Toney, not 100%. You can do Scott Moore, I guess, but I'm not worried about that. You got to pressure Mahomes. We got a good offensive line, good new offense coming in. If Kelce plays, if Jones plays, I don't care. Priest Holmes, you can anybody from the Chiefs.
Priest Holmes.
I don't buy into the if they're not healthy, it doesn't matter because when the season ends and the 17 games are done, who cares who was healthy? Who cares who was hurt? Because when the playoffs start, I want us to have that win on our belt. So I'm not worried about it. I think we'll win. I think we'll truly win. Like I'm not worried.
You're right. We don't get in the NFL. They don't seed teams by strength of schedule.
Are you gonna play half your guys because half their guys are hurt?
No.
You go full strength all the time. So
yeah,
I'm not worried.
that excuse is totally, to me, it's like I don't care about that at all.
No.
Like I don't care if you show up with half of your team. If you're showing up to play and we're playing you, we're gonna beat you, and we're not gonna sit there and just make an excuse because we don't have. I know and. On the morning show this morning, when I was driving into work today, I heard the thing where Jeff and Lucas were both like, we don't have J-Mo. We don't hear Kansas City people talking about that. And Flannel flipped it. Was like, J-Mo's not those two guys. But that's like the point is J-Mo is one of the bigger pieces on our offense or expected to be. But no one's in Kansas City, I bet, texting each other and talking about it in chats and stuff like, oh, well, they don't have Jameson Williams, so we wish we could play them full strength. No one cares about it. And two, real quick, I did want to bring up, does it not feel like, I know we're gauging the temperature a little bit, it kind of feels like a couple months ago, the pregame the night before of that Packers game, that primetime game on TV, I'm starting to get that same feeling. I don't know if anyone else is getting that, but where it's not nerves. Like I'm very confident. Like I said, 15 out of 10. Think they can win this game. I'm just more so like the nerves of being on national TV. Like it's starting to really hit me that the Detroit Lions are opening the NFL season versus the defending champs.
It's wild.
It's like that Packers game where it's like, oh, right, we can end Aaron Rodgers' career right now.
It's a big moment for the Lions, and I just put 2 emojis in the chat. If you're feeling like you're confident, like the Lions are going to go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs, throw that fire emoji out. Let's spam this chat. If you're not so confident, want to pump the brakes a little bit, it's Lions versus the defending Super Bowl champions. Hit that ice emoji. Let's see that. I want to see the temperature of the chat.
While this fills up too, this comment here, Coach Walk, shout out Coach Walk. He just said, I just don't want to see any excuses when we win and the national media tears us down because of that, because we're the Lions. I think national media, if we do win the game or when we do, or when the Lions do, I do think that there is going to be that side where, Travis Kelce was a little beat up. Chris Jones was out. This guy, Kadarius Toney, wasn't really like full in camp. That's going to happen. I don't think you can avoid that. I think that's going to happen. But look at all this. All right, there's some ice. There's ice in there.
There's some ice, which is fair. I mean, it's the Chiefs. Yeah. It's the Chiefs. I did see a funny comment. Charles Dirksen. He was referencing the old Dan Campbell press conference. I don't care who's against us, whether you got whether you got one ass cheek and 3 toes. I don't care. He doesn't care if Chris Jones is there or not, if Travis Kelce is there or not.
You know what I was thinking, real quick before we go to break? Do you guys remember the one thing I hate that Jamal Williams left were the speeches that we were like running the social here at Woodward? It's like we just can't post Jamal Williams speeches anymore because he's on New Orleans. But his speeches were the best. Like I loved his speeches. Like if you're gonna piss like a puppy, get off the porch and let the big dogs eat. That is the best. I wish they could play that before tomorrow.
Yeah, but dude, it was replaced with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is
we need some speeches
filling
from him.
That
Let's
time.
go.
I got a speech for you because I got to tell the fans about Mark White Real Estate, because when you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty. That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. So try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate, Booner? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Again, that's markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
A blue, he looked glorious. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We got the Tigers game up on the TV right there. Chris Fetter, my old teammate, just walks out to the mound. Tigers are losing 4-1. Gleyber Torres, 7 RBIs in 6 games. Enough about the Tigers. We got a big game tomorrow. Well, we got to talk. There's some key players that are going to be missing, actually from both sides now. One we might have expected from the Detroit Lions side, but it's been made official today. Emmanuel Mosley is ruled out for Week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
On the other side of the ball, we got Kadarius Toney, questionable. We got Travis Kelce, tight end Travis Kelce, future Hall of Famer, questionable. And Chris Jones, defensive tackle. We'll call it questionable, but he's out, right? Like, he's not going to play.
I would say out.
Yeah.
He didn't report today. I mean, maybe if he reported today, he was in.
He claims he could suit it up, and if they need him to play, he could play, but I'm not really buying it. So, Booner, I got to ask you, like, how do you think this affects the Lions? How do you feel about this? And sort of part 2 to this question, decide how you want to answer this. Is this a situation where you're mad that the Lions, if they win, it's not going to be beating the Chiefs at full strength? We touched on about it a little bit, but, like, is that something you care about?
So I'll answer that one first. No, I don't care at all. I know we already talked about that a little bit.
a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Can you hear us now?
We are back. Officially, we are back. Can you guys hear us? Can we just get like W's in the chat or something so
Let's
we
see.
know?
We need you in the chat.
Yes.
Are we good?
Yes.
We good.
Denver Blair said yes. Peaceful
Yeah.
Tim, yes. Giovanni, yes.
Mike Hill.
Let's go, boys. We are officially back.
Dude, we just got initiated.
That was our initiation into having a show on Woodward Sports.
Who do you think? Was that Fish or Baydoun, Remote,
I
the
don't-
boys?
Someone got us, though.
I think it's now every single show.
I'm glad that we don't have to go through that initiation again, because my heart dropped when I saw in the chat it said no audio. Jalen's looking at me like this. I thought I was saying something like out of hand, but no one even heard me anyway, so I could have been. Who knows?
I'm sweating bullets in here, boys, no doubt.
We know it
Yeah,
wasn't
hey,
you.
shout out to Nick. He shut us off.
It wasn't you. Peaceful Tim feeling like this was set up for comments. It wasn't. It wasn't this
Everyone
time.
in the chat. Parker's in the chat. Blame Parker.
Maz
It was Parker.
Mike G. Maz unplugged his Walkman. Peaceful Tim, by the way, you had some freaking hilarious comments last night when I went back to watch the stream. But
I guess we restart that whole section again then. No one even heard the intro there.
nothing. You're right. What we were asking was, how much are you worried about Kelsey?
And smash the like button.
Oh, that's right. We're almost at 100 at 99 now. Are you worried at all about Travis Kelsey and Chris Jones being out? Like, is this something where you're worried about Lions being talked about in national media? They're not at full strength. So they win. It's going to be, the Lions beat the Chiefs when they're down. What do you think?
First of all, I don't care who the Kansas City Chiefs put on the field. They could put whoever their kicker is, Butker or whatever his name is.
Harrison.
They could put him at quarterback, and people would be like, "Oh, the Detroit Lions beat Harrison Butker, and they beat him as their quarterback." I don't care. I obviously, and I said it before when we were muted, we don't want to see a guy like Travis Kelsey go down in camp. That's
Right.
like the worst thing. Like one of the best tight end in NFL history. We don't want to see that. But every single team around the league right now is going through injuries from training camp.
Yeah.
We've been lucky enough, knock on wood, to not have that many. We've had some, but we've been lucky enough to not have any and to have guys healthy for tomorrow. Amon-Ra went down for a little bit with that ankle injury, but he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So if Amon-Ra's thing happened this week instead of 2 weeks ago, all that happened was the Kelsey thing happened at the worst time possible. So I don't really care, because if that happened to the Detroit Lions, people would be like, "Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? They're still going to go play the Detroit Lions. We're not going to get a break from it." If we didn't have one of our best players, if Amon-Ra wasn't playing tomorrow, no one in media would be like, "Oh man, if the Chiefs beat the Detroit Lions, is it really that big of a deal?" No one would say that. So why are we saying that about the Chiefs? Who cares? We're playing the Chiefs and we're going to go beat them.
Remember how you felt, and I'm sure a lot of people around Detroit felt, day one of training camp, like within a half hour of practice starting, we hear over Twitter, C.J. Gardner-Johnson goes down with an apparent leg injury.
Oh, my heart dropped, man.
It was the worst feeling ever. Like, you hear about, we don't need to go down the same old Lions route, but like when things like that happened, you started thinking about that. But
we can't have
fortunately-
nice things.
Fortunately,
Like all that stuff.
he was fine. And I know, as I'm thinking back, the part that they didn't hear, we run through who was out on the Lions side. Emmanuel Mosley, cornerback, who we just picked up, who the Lions just picked up from San Francisco. He's ruled out, officially out for the game Thursday. He's been getting healthier. I expect him to play more. Oh, here's the practice report. Emmanuel Mosley, limited in practice, but will not be playing in the game. Ragnow, Buggs, and Melifanu all look healthy and
All
ready to
good,
go.
ready
That
to
Buggs is going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. It's not saying he's out, but this is an injury report, so it might not be showing, playing time if he's going to start
Yeah.
or not. But then on the other side, we've got Kadarius Toney is questionable, wide receiver for the Chiefs. Arguably their number one, maybe Sky Moore, maybe Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We got Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, two of the best players in the entire NFL.
One thing we all have to get used to, I think, on every single injury report this year, I think Frank Ragnow will be on that because of that toe injury. I do think that, and it didn't worry me at all seeing him on there. I'm just kind of throwing that out there that he probably will be on 17 out of 17 injury reports this year saying, like, limited practice, no practice, just to heal that toe. Like, there's nothing they can do about it at this point. But Emmanuel Mosley, I think I could speak for everyone, like the whole Lions fan base. We would have loved to kind of have him, even if it was for a couple snaps. I don't even know for a couple snaps. It would have been sweet to have him at full strength. But I don't think any of us expected him to play this week at all anyways. I remember when the kind of news dropped that he kind of came back, I texted Lucas right away, and all I said was, like, I just hope he's back week 2 because you have to play DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and JSN. I hope he comes back for that, and he's one of those guys that can rotate in for that. So just him go get healthy. Like, the Detroit Lions will handle the Kansas City Chiefs. Just, that's fine.
100%
on our end, injury-wise.
And Steve Wilds, I don't think he's officially ruled out yet. Travis Kelce, I'm talking about. I believe he's still questionable. He hyperextended his knee, and I believe, my gut, if I were the Chiefs, I'd be sitting him for a week or two so he can rest and rehab that knee and come back 100% versus risking it on game 1. Nick, what do you think about these losses or anything you want to mention about the game?
Yeah, no doubt. I think all of us can get on the same page, and we have never gotten more national media hype, maybe ever. I think this is way more than we'll ever get in our lifetime. So if we beat the Chiefs week 1 with their 2 of their 3 best players out, I don't care if they trash us all week and they say it's a bad win. We've gotten the media hype all off season. I'm done with it. I don't need it anymore. I will be so happy if we get this win.
You know, Jalen and Lucas, correct me if I'm wrong on this stat, but has Mahomes never played a game without Travis Kelce?
Never.
Not once. Not one single game?
So can I ask you a question then? If that's true, who do you guys think all around the room? I want to know, who do you think is going to be that, like, number? Then in that case, Mahomes has never not had a legit dude on that offense. He's always then at that point has had Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. Who's going to be that dude tomorrow night if Kelce either is limited or he doesn't play? Who do you guys think?
I'll go.
Or in the chat. Throw some in there in the chat, too.
They're big on Sky Moore. You know, they're big on him.
That's a good one.
Justin Ross, too. Like, you seen the hype around him is crazy, but he's legit, you know, Justin Ross. But I feel like Mahomes doesn't need a lot to work with. I mean, Kelce being out, he has that Tom Brady effect. He can make anybody look good, to me. So I don't think Kelce being out is a problem. It's just, you know, getting the Mahomes, having some pressure. But if he gets Justin Ross or any of them, like, locked in and they get comfortable, we may have a problem. But other than that, I'm not worried about that. Like, they have to stay cold. If they get hot, one of them, and they get comfortable with Mahomes and he feels that, we might have an issue.
Sky Moore, that is a really good one. I do think a lot of people in the chat were putting Sky Moore.
Yeah, Denver Blair.
That's a dude he was a top draft pick last year, right? At least round 1 or 2, and he's a legit weapon. He scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl there. He struggled throughout the season, but he's a dude that has, like, he has the talent to go out there and
definitely.
If a guy like Mahomes could easily make him look really, really good.
Definitely. Nick, before Booner tells us about who is going to be locking down some of these offensive players via Guardian Alarm, what are you on the lookout for that Chiefs offense without Kelce?
It's got to be the backup tight end, Noah Gray.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be the guy that
Noah Gray season?
Kelce. Noah Gray season. Yeah, let's not get too excited. We don't know what this guy really is in that full role yet. So hopefully, you know, he's not the baby Kelce waiting to break out.
Who knows? Who knows? Brian Branch going to be painting that field with 50 Shades of Gray.
Love that.
Booner.
I love it. Now,
tell him.
Let me tell you guys real quick about Guardian Alarm. Let Guardian Alarm offer you a customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians will take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us any day or night and know that Guardian Alarm team members will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience a Fairway difference today. You can experience a Fairway difference for yourself today. So visit that steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Let's go. Welcome back to Woodward Nights. I am Booner. I've got Broder here right next to me. We've got Jalen. We actually have Lucas still here. Shout out Late Night Grind. And we've got Nick over there in the sound booth. Real quick, if you guys can, I know we're only at 240 people watching right now, which that's going to keep going up because everyone wants to come listen to the Detroit Lions. Less than 24 hours away from game time, but smash that like button. Let's get to 150 likes before 9 o'clock so we can get halfway to that 300 goal that we have set for today. But this next segment here, we wanted to break down some matchups for you guys here for the Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kind of like an example that I'll throw an example out there. I don't know if Broder has. I hope I don't take it, but
hey,
like a Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes type of duo, like different kind of breakdown and matchups. So that's kind of what we wanted to get into here. If you guys have any massive matchups that you guys feel like it's going to kind of make or break this game tomorrow, throw those in the chat. We'll discuss those as well as we go through this segment. But Broder, start us off here. Who is the biggest matchup here that you want to break down for this game tomorrow night versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
To me, the very first thing I'm watching tomorrow, the thing I'm focusing on the most, we're going wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown versus cornerback Trent McDuffie.
Woo!
You know, cornerback L'Jarius Sneed from the Kansas City Chiefs, he's limited. He might be out. I didn't mention him when we were talking injuries. That's on me. But I think this is a great matchup. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's had, 196 catches in his first 2 seasons. He plays primarily out of the slot, and that's where Trent McDuffie gets most of his work into. So I really want to see if Amon-Ra can pick up where he left off. The Lions themselves had momentum to finish out the year, but Amon-Ra also, he's having a big year, and he wants to be all-pro. He wants to break Justin Jefferson's record for most receptions in his first 3 years in the NFL. So I'm looking to have not only a big year, he's the type of guy who wants to show on the national stage. He wants everybody to remember those 16 wide receivers drafted before him. You know that clip's going to be shown on TV tomorrow. He's going to come out and have a big game, I believe. But we'll see. Cornerback Trent McDuffie, he made some really big steps as Kansas City went on their Super Bowl run. What do you think about that? And then I want to hear yours.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's a good one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously he's kind of like the heart of this offense outside of Jared Goff that will make plays and kind of he's always open. I say that all the time.
Like 7-Eleven.
He always 24/7. That man is open anywhere on the field. He will get open for Jared Goff. Jared Goff knows exactly when to find him. That will be interesting to see if a guy like Trent McDuffie, because it seemed like last year no one could stop Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No.
He's just one of those receivers like a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, who no matter what happens, like you're just probably not going to stop him, but can you slow him down?
And dude, he's been doing it all training camp. Like we saw it. I was fortunate enough to watch it. It's so strange. It's hard to illustrate how he gets open and how he does it, because it's not some elite speed. He doesn't have burners. He's an incredible route runner,
Whoa.
but he uses his physicality to get open. So I'm really excited to see him this year. What's your matchup that you're looking out for tomorrow?
I took this a little differently. I don't know if anyone talked about matchups in the chat or if anyone even thought of this. The biggest matchup to me tomorrow night is Andy Reid versus Dan Campbell.
Oh,
that is the biggest matchup for the Detroit Lions in this football game. The biggest one. And I can't hammer that home enough. Because last year, Dan Campbell single-handedly lost us a couple football games. The year before, he single-handedly lost us a couple football games. Now,
facts.
There's expectations. You're looking to go in the NFC. You're looking to go compete with all of these. You're looking to contend. We talk about it all the time. Can the Detroit Lions contend? We're looking to do that. Dan Campbell is a guy that we don't really talk about that because we love him. I love Dan Campbell. You guys know, if you guys watch the heavyweights, that's my white whale to go have a beer with one night. I would love to go drink a beer with Dan Campbell. But if that man doesn't take a step forward in his coaching, he did it last year when we went 8-2 to the end of the year. But in big games like this, you have to outcoach a guy. You really can't outcoach a guy like Andy Reid because he's obviously reading the last whatever it is 9-1, 5-0 with Patrick Mahomes in week ones at Arrowhead.
Arguably one of the best coaches of all time.
Yeah, you can't really outcoach him, but you just can't. You can't shoot yourself in the foot with this one. You have to go out there and just be a solid coach, make the right decisions, don't make stupid calls. Obviously, he's going to go for it on some fourth downs. We all know that. That's Dan Campbell. But don't be stupid about it. Don't lose us the game because of one of them. Go out there and be a smart head coach. Take that next step of being a contending head coach. That's what I want to see versus Andy Reid tomorrow. I think that is it. Like I said, he's not going to outcoach Andy Reid. No one in the league will. That's the best head coach in the NFL right now.
Yeah, Dan Campbell's got to be gassy and aggressive like that Honolulu Blue from Glorious, but not too aggressive. It's limit your mistakes so you're not giving the ball back to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's who I should have said while you're talking about Andy Reid and Dan Campbell. Don't give them extra chances. We gotta limit the ball in their hands, which is why I think we're gonna see a lot of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield.
And I do want to make it clear too. It's just I still want Dan Campbell to be Dan Campbell. That's why we went 8-2. He went for fourth downs. He did things like that. But there was things like that Minnesota game where, all right, are we going to kick it? Are we going to go for it? And then he kind of backed away from what he usually does and goes for the fourth down, or kind of, well, let's make this decision. And then it ends the game for us. Chicago 2 years ago. Like, there are these examples, and we all know that, and no one wants to. I haven't heard anyone want to say it about Dan Campbell. That's something we all need to talk about, and we're going to know it tomorrow. This is the big game. He did it in Green Bay. Let's see him do it again and take that next step.
We're going to talk about him at 9 o'clock here in the next segment. I got some words about Dan Campbell, but I need you real quick to tell him what we're going to be doing tomorrow night after what we hope the Lions get that victory in Arrowhead.
It won't be Woodward nights after the game. No Woodward nights tomorrow. But following the game, we will have Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway, and you see up there, Stick will be hosting our Lions post-game show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for the hot off the press takes, game analysis, Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. This is something you will not want to miss. Maz with some special guests. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Following the game, we'll have the live stream, and then we'll have that right after that. So make sure you guys tune in for that.
All right, Nick and Jalen.
Check it out.
Nick and Jalen. I'm going to name off a couple other matchups. Maybe these are guys you're looking out for. If you got your own, let me know. But some of the other I'm looking for, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back for the Lions, versus speedy linebacker Nick Bolton on the Kansas City Chiefs. How are they going to fare? Jahmyr Gibbs coming out of the backfield. Can Nick Bolton, who's on the rise as one of the top linebackers in the league, can he cover him? Jerick McKinnon on the other side, the Chiefs' third down back, the Chiefs' receiving threat out of the backfield. AFC Player of the Month in December of 2022 versus these Lions linebackers. We got some new linebackers stepping in. Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell alongside Alex Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez. You got something to say?
I've got one more.
You got one more.
I want to throw one out there.
Send it. I got two more, but let it fly.
If Travis Kelce plays tomorrow, Travis Kelce versus C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Brian Branch.
Ooh.
Whoever's in that nickel spot, that is exactly, shout out Jalen, gave me the nice thumbs up. That is exactly a matchup that you want to see. Because one, he's obviously not going to be as healthy as he normally would. But two, even if he was healthy, you're not going to stop a Travis Kelce fully. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Brian Branch will make sure that they're very, very well known, that they're in that game. and they're going to put some hits on Travis Kelce. So if he does play tomorrow, that's a huge matchup to look at. See how those guys in that nickel spot kind of match up with a guy like Travis Kelce.
Without a doubt. Nick, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so my biggest matchup of the game tomorrow, we all know Aiden Hutchinson was the best rookie D-end in the league last year. No debates about that. But one of the other best rookie D-ends was George Karlaftis for the Kansas City Chiefs, lining up on that left defensive end
that's
versus
a good one.
Penei Sewell without the interior pressure of
Chris Jones.
Yeah, of Chris Jones. Without that interior pressure, they're going to need to get to the outside and get to Jared Goff. But I think that matchup with Penei Sewell really leads our way, and I love Penei's number in that one.
I like that one.
Newly named captain, Penei Sewell.
I love that.
Jalen, how about you? What kind of matchup are you looking for?
I'm going to go with Montgomery and Gibbs against the front four. Without Jones playing, like, people need to understand, like, D-Mont could be a 10-touchdown back this year. He's never had an O-line. We have a good O-line. Gibbs, we don't know what he's going to do yet, but he can be an X factor, throw some screens, anything like that. So I'm looking to see how they do. I want to see him get about 60-plus on the ground for, like, D-Mont, maybe, like, 50 receiving for Gibbs, maybe. I don't know. But for, like, defense, I'd like to rush CJ. I think we can leave Branch secondary, let Garner Johnson, blitz Mahomes. I think it'll work. I think having Branch on Kelce, like, he's smaller, but, like, it's a hard hitter, man. Like, he's tough. I think he could bang on it if he plays, but if not, I love to see him or CJ, blitz Mahomes.
It's interesting you say that.
Nice.
Because we talked a lot yesterday about the versatility of some of these defensive backs, and you say CJ Gardner-Johnson, maybe he's the one blitzing Patrick Mahomes. He's likely going to be playing free safety, but the point is, this defense with Aaron Glenn, they want to play man-to-man. They want to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And with guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Brian Branch and even Cam Sutton, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, some of these guys that can play multiple defensive back positions, your ability to create mismatches for Patrick Mahomes, who is elite before the snap, creating these mismatches and confusing these new left and right tackles, which were one of the matchups I had. Jawan Taylor, new right tackle coming over from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Donovan Smith, left tackle coming over from the Buccaneers. How's Aiden Hutchinson going to fare going against Jawan Taylor? How's Charles Harris and James Houston going to fare going up against Donovan Smith?
So
we need
easy.
to contain Mahomes. We need these guys to maybe channel their inner John Kaminsky and set that edge. But what type of pressure are we going to get on Mahomes?
That's a great another little matchup thing we can do here with this game we're playing here. Detroit Steve did put it in there as well. Hutch and Charles must set the edge too.
Yes.
So he said his quarterback rating when scrambling is like 120. That's another matchup you can look at is these defensive ends, Kaminsky, Hutch, see these guys, Charles Harris, these different guys rushing Mahomes. If you can contain Mahomes, that's probably the key part of this whole game. If you don't want to get this out of control, if you don't want to see 40 points from the Chiefs, whether they have Kelce or whatever weapons that he has, if you don't contain him, he's going to run all over you. He's going to make every play. He's going to be on SportsCenter top 10 on Friday morning. That's what you don't want to see. Because, we could probably, our offense, we were a top 5 offense last year. We can run it up with them. We know we can do that. Jared Goff can do that. We don't want to do that, though. We want to contain him, and we want to play our game.
Legendary Dan Patrick, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. It's something they got to worry about tomorrow. So, Booner.
Let me tell you real quick about containing, because if you want to contain a guy like Patrick Mahomes, you need to get over to Planet Fitness, I believe. Yes, Planet Fitness. You need to get to Planet Fitness. Is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I mean anyone, they even let me, Booner, that can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. For more information or to join today, make sure you go visit Planet Fitness or your local Planet Fitness or www.planetfitness.com, where your fitness is essential.
By now you know me, Christina Schnurry, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Have you ever argued with your little brother? How about some random guy you're stuck in a room with for an hour? Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter are at each other's throats. One Spartan alumni and one Walmart Wolverine are locked in a room with nowhere to hide. You're welcome. Whether it's go blue or go green, you can go to woodwardsports.com for all the action. Coming soon to a device near you.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with the average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you will be able to. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. So make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information soon.
Let's go, man. We are back.
We are back, dude. We're rolling and we're getting into the second hour. Smash those likes. I know Booner's been asking for it, but it's my turn. Smash those likes.
We're at 144.
Hit the emojis in the bottom right corner of the chat. That helps the algorithm too. All this stuff which helps us push our content, push our live stream out to more people on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? We know there's other shows out there. If you decide to go watch something in this hour, throw us on mute, keep the tab open, start a new tab, enjoy your time, and then come back before the end of the show.
To end your night.
Finish
Let's go,
with
man.
us. We appreciate you guys for all being here. I want to ask you, Booner, we want to talk about some of the pressure for this game and this season. Because there's a lot on the line. Even being a first game of the season, there's a lot on the line. There's a lot of hype this all offseason. National media is talking about the Lions for the first time. Is there more pressure on the Lions, on Dan Campbell? Is there more pressure on Andy Reid and the Chiefs? Where are you at right now?
I think it's pretty obvious, and if we're looking at team-wise, the most pressure right now, most probably on the Detroit Lions. It's the hype. Obviously, we're all coming out of the same old Lions thing. Finished the season 8-2, and we're getting into this expectation era of the Detroit Lions. So I would have to say, team-wise, the Detroit Lions. If I had to break it down and really look at a player who is under the most pressure, or coach, I already just went at Dan Campbell. I love you, Dan Campbell. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But if I was going to go at someone here to kind of say who's under the most pressure, Jared frickin' Goff. He has to be the one that anyone that you would have to say is under the most pressure right now. Yesterday we talked about it. We did our team awards. Jared Goff, team MVP. And why is that? Because if the Detroit Lions play well, if the Detroit Lions win, it's because Jared Goff is kind of putting up those numbers. He's the one that's leading this team. If Jared Goff goes out there and lays an egg tomorrow, not even, especially versus the Chiefs, not even just a small, he could just lay just a little bit of an egg. If he does anything and doesn't come out and perform at a high level, we don't win this game. It comes down to, what does Jared Goff do tomorrow? Does he lead this team? Does he not? I truly believe that the most pressure out of any player right now going into tomorrow is Jared Goff. And I don't see, defense, we already know what our defense is kind of going to be. We've added pieces to it, but we know versus Patrick Mahomes you're going to give up yards and points. That's inevitable. You're never going to get away from that. But it's just, can Jared Goff compete with that Patrick Mahomes offense? Can he stick with it? If he doesn't perform well, we probably don't win the game. So that is the most pressure.
Booner, what are the chances we can get another Goff versus Mahomes performance like back in, I think it was 2017, might be 2018.
Was that Monday Night Football?
It was Monday Night Football in the Coliseum. They went head-to-head. Jared Goff and the Rams came out on top. Do you think we can get another effort like that?
I don't know. I'm stuck in between. I don't know if I want to see that, or I don't know. Because I don't want to see a shootout like that. My heart all night will just be I'll have a heart attack. Well, we'll be live on stream. I probably will just drop dead.
Yeah.
Think about that. Imagine the Detroit Lions, like, on the last drive, they have to go down and score a touchdown. It would be awesome, but I'd rather them just be up by a full touchdown already and get a stop or I don't know.
You're Booner, though. You bet, right?
I do bet. That's why.
That's bet heaven right there.
Oh, man. I'm not taking the over, though.
That'd be heaven for you, man.
If I had the over, that would... Ooh, I would love that.
Calm down, Booner.
But I don't have the over. A couple days ago, I locked in the Detroit Lions +6 before it moved to 4.5. So I've got the Detroit Lions tomorrow.
Riding with you on that one, Booner.
Let's go.
+6. And also, you do not want Kansas City to have that ball at the end. I know that's a fact. You do not want that ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands.
You definitely don't.
A chance.
I got to tell you about who I think is under the most pressure. And this person, this former player, I don't think he's on the hot seat or under pressure for the season. I don't think his job's in jeopardy. But I think for this very first game, it's very, very, very important for Dan Campbell to get the team ready and come out of the gate hot.
Yeah.
With the slow start last year, with some of the duds in the biggest games of the year, which I'm going to say the Patriots were one of them, not because it actually was one of the biggest games, but remember how much hype there was leading into that game, going and seeing Matt Patricia for the first time, being offensive coordinator, then we go out and lay an egg. A 0 spot on the Patriots and then the Panthers. I think Dan Campbell, he needs to get this team ready. I think if he doesn't...
I agree.
I don't know. If he doesn't, that says something about all the preparation. Should the starters have played in the preseason games? Should they have worked out differently in the training camp? I don't know.
Talk to him, Broder.
I don't know. No, I am a Campbell supporter, and I believe that the concept of what he's doing makes sense. I'm just saying it's important that they come out ready to play on Thursday.
On my list here, I had Dan Campbell at the top of it, but obviously the segment before, I just went in on Dan Campbell about how he needs to take that next step as a coach, and I would say he is probably, him and Jared Goff are the two that are leading this team. Those are the two dudes that need to bring it tomorrow.
They do. And real quick,
especially Dan Campbell building this team in the offseason.
Real quick, I got to tell you about college football, or For the Love of College Football pregame show. Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, Easy, and many more will get you pumped up every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 10 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're a Sparty, whether you're a Wolverine, go blue, or a fan of that other team down south and OH, you know those guys, we welcome you to love your Saturday with Woodward Sports. You know who else I had on my list?
Who'd you have?
I had the Lions offensive line.
Wow.
If Chris Jones is out, this offensive line, the Detroit Lions, this is the first time all 5 of them have played together in at least 2, maybe ever actually, in at least 2 years. We got Taylor Decker at left tackle, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, Halapulavati Vaitai, and Penei Sewell. Graham Glasgow coming off the bench, probably that backup center, backup right guard position. With Chris Jones out, who's one of the top 3 defensive difference makers in the league, definitely a top 3 defensive tackle, this offensive line and David Montgomery behind them need to dominate.
Is that really? I don't even think, though, I wouldn't even make that as like, are they under, like, I wouldn't put the offensive line under pressure because they dominated last year for us. Like, that's why Jamal Williams broke Barry Sanders' record, is those guys dominated. Obviously, Vaitai's back. Excuse me.
No problem.
Dan Campbell, that Kool-Aid's getting to me. But obviously, Big V's back, and this offense is fully healthy. I don't think there's anything, though, like pressure-wise or anything that they need to prove tomorrow. Like, I know they're going to show up and they're going to dominate that defensive line. I know. I'm very confident.
I think that's why
Am I confident
there's
Dan Campbell's going to call not going to call a random timeout or do a bad play call? I'm like 70% like confident. The offensive line, I'm 100% confident they're going to show up. They're going to, 1, protect Jared Goff, and 2, our run game's going to be decent.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Mother, what?
What? Say, Jalen, hit me.
I think it's no pressure for anybody.
Nobody on the Lions.
Andy Reid doesn't prove anything. Patrick Mahomes, nothing. Kelsey, nothing. I think Goff, his first game, I think he'd have to, show something out or whatever, but the Lions just have to compete. If we can hang with them and maybe win, we'll be fine. But, I don't think it's no pressure. I mean, Dan Campbell, we're not supposed to win that game anyway, right?
Apparently.
Quote, unquote.
I mean, Vegas still has the Chiefs.
But if they go out there, though, and they get, knock on wood, they get beat by 2 touchdowns, people will be like, what happened? Like, what happened?
If we get
pressure.
If we get beat like that, then hey, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, but if we could just hang with them and compete and show that we're like legit, it's nothing. Just don't get blown out like you said.
Got a new nickname for you, courtesy of Peaceful Tim.
What I got?
Coach Prime. Was that Coach Prime in there? That's a good one.
Don't get me started.
Not Baby Drummond, not Mini Drummond.
Oh no, don't. Theme music is low. Don't get me started.
Yeah. Nick.
Yeah, Broder. I absolutely love the offensive line one that you signed up because this is the first time they've played all 5 of them, and we've heard top 3 O-line, top 5 O-line all offseason. That's why I do believe we haven't seen it like the drop says. Talk is cheap. We need to see them absolutely dominate that KC defensive line, and if we see that, that's when these dreams start becoming reality, when we can start talking about a huge Lions season that we were all expecting.
Can we, Jalen, do you know how to do a chat yet? Can we do a
poll?
chat and say who's under the most pressure? Could we just like throw Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, who else I want to see in the chat if I see a couple here. Maybe, let's wait, let's see if a couple pop up. I want to get 2 more. Because I am interested to see who people actually think, like if it's Dan Campbell, if it's Jared Goff.
So throw Aaron Glenn.
That's a good one. Throw Aaron Glenn in there as well.
I don't think he's under pressure tomorrow, but
That's
Aaron
a
Glenn,
great one.
I wanted to end this with sort of the Detroit Lions season because I think
O-line, throw the O-line in there.
There's Aaron Glenn pressure for the entire season. Like they got pieces now. Now they got to perform. So I think for the season, for the Lions season, he's trying to get a head coaching job.
That's a great one.
Aaron Glenn's, for me, across the season. I think he's ready, and I think he's going to get the boys ready. But so what do you guys think? We got most pressure, Goff, Glenn, Dan C, that's MCDC, or the O-line. My guess is O-line's going to finish last, probably.
I would guess. I don't know if it doesn't have a vote yet.
And so it says most pressure. Are we asking the chat most pressure for the Lions this season or on Thursday, tomorrow?
I think just tomorrow. This is more so in the game tomorrow. Who's going to have the most pressure on them tomorrow to make sure that they perform? That whether it's Dan Campbell as a head coach, Aaron Glenn, his defense performs. This is actually, I don't know how we left Aaron Glenn off this list. That is great because remember how we started the year last year when it ended up, we struggled a ton. We were giving up like that Seattle game, 40-something points.
Yeah.
We were giving up so many points. Patriots, 20-something. Like everything just wasn't going our way on defense. And then all of a sudden, shout out to Easy too, because I think he was doing like the protect the Glenn thing. And all of a sudden, it kind of just flipped, and that defense just turned, and we went 8-2. So that's actually a huge question. Can Aaron Glenn do that for the whole season with this defense?
Yeah. It was, I think after that Aubrey Pleasant firing was kind of triggered that. Not to say Aubrey Pleasant was the reason, but man, they didn't have the dudes last year. Like Jerry Jacobs played out of his mind. He was probably the only defensive back on the roster who actually played well. They finished as like the worst defensive backfield, the worst secondary in the league. What are you saying in the chat?
There's Easy. Defend the Glenn.
Defend the Glenn.
He was the one that was defending it. So I'm just interested too, and I just want to see him kind of put that, like it's like any player, like a player that performs for half a season. You want to see him put a full season together.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, we want to see him do that whole 8-2 stretch. We want to see that for the full season. So I want to see Aaron Glenn lead a defense, a legit defense, because he had all of these head coaching interviews this offseason. We know he can coach. We know who Aaron Glenn is. Let's just see all season. Like, let's get this defense firing on all cylinders. Day 1 versus the Kansas City Chiefs in primetime.
100%.
Not week 8.
And he doesn't have any excuses anymore because
Zero.
now he has the dudes.
Yes.
Part of the problem last season why the Lions struggled is he stuck to his guns and how he wants to run the defense. A ton of man coverage, a ton of blitzing, and that left some of these underachieving cornerbacks out on an island. Now he's got Cam Sutton, soon to be Emmanuel Mosley, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph another year, Tracy Walker, a stud coming off the bench. Like he's got the dudes. There's no excuse anymore. Pressure's on Aaron Glenn.
I don't want to be. This isn't negative. I don't think.
No.
Because I know we're talking Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions, but how crazy is it? It's like a really good and a really like bad thing that by the end of this year, if Aaron Glenn brings us like an insane defense, goes from 32nd to top 10 or top 15, and Ben Johnson does his thing like he did last year, that we could by the end of the season we're probably going to lose both coordinators.
It might happen.
How? I know we're supposed to be positive. Like, let's go Chiefs tomorrow. But we have like two of the best coordinators on each side of the ball in the NFL right now. And at the end of the season, we might lose both of them.
That's part of what being a good team we're going to have to live with as a fan base, as a city supporting the team. They're bringing in, finally, good enough coordinators where they're getting love and they're getting head coaching opportunities. And that says a lot about Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and how they're not only scouting these coaches or bringing them in, but also how they're supporting them through this process. They genuinely want them to go take their dream job, to move on. Ben Johnson, they want him to be a head coach. And what they're doing, they're grooming Tanner Engstrand. They're grooming some of these younger coordinators, younger positional coaches to be the next in line. And it's worked so far. So it's just something we're going to have to deal with. Like we had to deal with good players getting cut, we're going to have to deal with good coaches moving on. So let me tell you, though, real quick about SMA before we come back and start talking a little more NFL across the league. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or anybody you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com. That's the sport, S-P-O-R-T, SMA.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall's also a perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. So why don't you shop like a pro with Swiss Insurance? They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. We are back.
Let's go.
Woodward Nights. In the nighttime. We're back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We got Nick in the booth. We got Jalen in the booth. We're rolling here, heading into this
23 hours away
segment.
23 hours away.
You know what I want to ask these guys again? Could you
23 hours away.
Let's hit those
go.
likes.
We are 23 hours away from Detroit Lions football.
Smash those like buttons, boys.
Seriously though, let's hit those likes. Let's get to 200.
Let's go.
By 9:30. That would be awesome. Let's make a little jump here.
Yeah, let's hit 200 here, boys.
So you know what? We're gonna take let's
hit 200.
We're gonna take a little pause from the Lions.
We are.
Although maybe there's some Lions players that show up on what we're about to do. We're gonna roll through final NFL season predictions. It all kicks off tomorrow. We're jamming everything in these first 2 days of the Woodward Night Show. So, Booner, let's talk about our predictions.
Yep.
You want to go division predictions first, or you want to go awards?
Let's do it. Let's do AFC divisions.
Boom.
Let's go through the AFC divisions.
All right, I'm going to pepper you. AFC East.
The Buffalo Bills.
You're going Buffalo Bills to come out on top of the AFC East.
The Buffalo Bills will win the AFC East.
Who do you have second place, just out of curiosity?
I don't know. The Jets.
Doesn't matter. I've got the Jets winning. I've got the Jets winning the AFC East.
Wow.
I think
that's the tough division.
Oh, it's really tough.
That
We
is
got
a
Jets,
tough
Bills,
division,
Dolphins,
dude.
Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are going to be in the mix, but if you pick Jets, Bills, Dolphins, you got some good options there. I just think, man, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers is the real deal. I don't care what anybody says.
Remember, 13-3. The Buffalo Bills, 13-3 last year, and that was their down year. That's what everyone says. Oh, they had a down year. No, they were 13-3.
Josh Allen's legit. I'll give you that. What about the AFC North? We got Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns.
I have a wild one here. I don't have the Bengals winning the division.
Neither do I.
I have the Baltimore Ravens
Wow.
winning the AFC.
Let's go!
Wow.
Let's go!
You said AFC North, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
I was making
AFC
sure I
North.
did the right division. The Baltimore Ravens. I don't see how you can't pick them because him and Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh, their record's insane. When they're both like when Lamar's playing, it's insane. He's a great quarterback. He wins games. He just finds a way. They always have a defense. They're winning that division. Bengals lost some guys on defense. I think the Bengals still make the playoffs, obviously, but the Baltimore Ravens win that division.
I love it. I got the Ravens coming on top of that division also, but Steelers coming in second, maybe snagging that wild card spot down near for the Bengals. I'm thinking Joe Burrow's about to get paid, though.
Yep.
What about the AFC South? Jaguars, Titans, Texans, Colts.
Do we all? I think the same. Me and you have the same one. The Jags.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, 3,
Jaguars.
2, 1. Jaguars.
I got the Jags.
Do we just become best friends?
Yeah. There's so much room for activities. I think the Titans have potential to surprise some people this year, but it's going to be Jaguars all the way. AFC West, let's round it out. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
Do we have the same one?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Those are easy. I think it gets a little more complicated.
And then in the
it
NFC.
might actually. Those first two, AFC East and North, were tough. But let's go NFC East. We got the Giants, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
The NFC Beast. I've got the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah. There's that stat, and I don't know what it is. Maybe someone in the chat, if you can put it in, if someone knows
A stat from the chat.
But I'm pretty sure that there hasn't been like a back-to-back winner in the NFC East in like
You're right.
20-something years.
That is fact.
Almost 30 years. So I'm you have to pick someone in there. I don't see the Giants. I don't trust Daniel Jones like enough. Don't see the Commanders, and the last one is the Cowboys.
I got the Eagles going first.
Back to back.
You know who's in second place? Sam Howell, Scary Terry,
Come on.
and the Commanders. I think they got a sneaky chance to win this division. I don't think they're going to overtake the Eagles, though. I think they finish with 9, maybe 10 wins.
That's fair.
Which might be enough. The
That's
Giants,
wild, though.
The Giants were tough to me. I just don't fully believe in them yet. They haven't proved. I got to make sure that they stay healthy. We'll save the NFC North. How about the NFC South? We got Buccaneers, Panthers, Falcons, and the New Orleans Saints.
I really like Derek Carr. I'm not gonna lie. I liked him in Las Vegas. I feel like he kind of got screwed in a few situations with the new coach. I think he goes to New Orleans. All they just needed that guy, and they got Derek Carr. I'm not saying he's like a Pro Bowl or anything like that, but he's solid enough to go win that division. I don't trust anyone else in that division besides the Saints.
Do you think the Falcons have a chance?
No.
I got the Saints too. I think the Falcons are.
I thought you were about to go Falcons after that.
No, they're a trap game for the Lions. That's for sure. Coming after the Chiefs and the Seahawks, they got to be focused for the Falcons. We don't know how good Bijan Robinson can be, but the NFC West, we got the Rams and the Cardinals.
Yes, sir.
And then the Seahawks and the Niners.
There are some Falcons in the chat.
Niners. Who are you going with? NFC West.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
That's who I'm going. I don't care about the Seahawks. They'll win a lot of games. They'll win 9 or 10 games. They're not winning that division, though. Nick Bosa's back, signed his deal. I don't see how you can not. If you're choosing anyone, like Peaceful Tim right away, Seahawks. Trisha Miller, Seahawks.
Seahawks are legit.
I get it.
They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a wild card.
It's hard for me to throw all my money on a Geno Smith, who he's shown us one great year. But before that, I want to see another year out of him before I can throw money on it.
I can appreciate that. I do like Geno Smith. Last one before you tell them about our Lions pregame. Speaking of the Lions,
Yes,
NFC
sir.
North. Who's winning the NFC North?
NFC North?
3,
The
2,
Detroit
1.
Lions!
Let's go, Detroit
Let's go!
Lions.
Hey, when was the last time the Detroit Lions won the NFC North? I don't know, but we're doing it this year. What, 1993, 1991?
91.
The Detroit Lions will win the NFC North this year. That is a Booner guarantee, a lock. We're winning the NFC North. Starts tomorrow.
Book it, Booner, and tell people how they can watch. Actually, how they can prepare to see the Lions win.
Yes, you can tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel tomorrow. The Woodward Sports Detroit Lions pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Join Woodward Sports' own host, Jeff Iafredi, with weekly special guests on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're sipping the Kool-Aid or kicking and screaming the same old Lions, you will not want to miss this show. Tunes in tomorrow at 6 p.m. I will be I'm pretty sure I will be hosting with Jeff Ifrady, Lucas Klotz, Michael Gentry. It'll be our whole crew here, and we'll be doing that. And it will also be on Sundays. We will be Sundays at the tailgate. I don't know exactly where at the tailgate, but I do know we will be down at the tailgate on Sundays.
It will be at Eastern Market.
Eastern Market
is where the tailgates will be. I know we're going to have to carry some of the individual player awards into the next section.
Yeah.
But while we're on the topic of these division winners, I want to ask you about your AFC and your NFC championship matchups.
Oh, this is a good
So
one.
let's start with the NFC. Let's start with the Lions' own conference. What do you think? NFC championship matchup. This is to get to the Super Bowl.
I have in the NFC championship, I have the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
Verse.
The
Detroit Lions.
Dude.
Yes, NFC championship game.
Wow.
I do.
I want it.
I think the Detroit Lions beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm with
to
you.
get into that game.
You want to know who I picked?
Who'd you pick?
49ers versus Lions.
Let's go! Round of applause.
Airbnb's in sync.
Yeah, that was like a little alley-oop.
Did we just get that nickname, Airbnb?
Trisha said Lions versus Eagles. Big show picks. Dallas versus Detroit. That is a big one there.
Purdy is media hype. Trisha Miller. We'll see this year.
I think the
doesn't
Niners
lose.
they kind of get they're always in the NFC Championship
Tyler
game.
says I don't trust Purdy.
So who do you have AFC?
AFC championship matchup. I've got the Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Jets.
Wow.
Jets, Jets.
I don't have either.
I don't like the Jets, by the way. I actually despise them. I think they're a very nicely built team.
Straight.
Really?
Yeah, what do you think? AFC
I think they're a
championship
good
matchup.
team, but I have the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Bills Chiefs
in the AFC Championship game this year.
Do you think we get another epic Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes?
I do.
Showdown win into
overtime, want to know who
right?
I have winning that game?
This is to go to the Super Bowl?
Go to the Super Bowl in the AFC. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Wow, you're on the Bills bandwagon.
I'm fully on the Bills bandwagon this year.
Jalen, you got some words about that.
They're 13-3. It's their time.
Every year I trust them, they lose.
But let me tell you this though, you don't trust them this year, right? Exactly. So they're gonna go win this year.
Now,
no one trusts them.
If they lose, then what?
All right, then I can just say, hey, it's the same old Bills.
Josh Allen, man.
But Josh Allen, they're gonna get the job done this year. He's gonna have that year that we've been waiting for.
You ever see that meme? It was somewhere. It was DeMar Hamlin died and came back before Michael Thomas came back from his injury.
Oh, jeez.
It was pretty dark. My comeback
Jeez.
player of the year, DeMar Hamlin.
All right, well, I guess who do you have winning the AFC going to the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. I'm going San Francisco 49ers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, that means the 49ers beat the Lions in the NFC Championship.
I have the same thing. I have the Lions losing.
We talked about the Super Bowl. It's
possible
in arm's reach. It's tough to go through the Eagles and the Niners. I don't think either of them are going anywhere this year. Like some people are saying they're going to drop off. Dude, so you got Bills. I didn't pick a winner. I didn't show you who my winner was.
Who'd you have?
I think we're going Baltimore Ravens with that Super Bowl championship.
Wow.
Dude, Lamar Jackson is he's so locked in right now.
I have the Bills winning.
We got two new champions.
I'm sorry.
Let's do it. Who do you guys think? Nick, Jalen, let's start with Nick. Super Bowl matchup, and then who do you think is going to win it?
Okay, so I had KC versus the Bills in the AFC Championship and the Eagles and 49ers in NFC.
Okay.
I got Eagles getting back to the Super Bowl and defeating Kansas City Chiefs rematch Super Bowl, but the Eagles come out on top.
Wow. Dude, Jalen Hurts with that Super Bowl victory.
Wow.
Jalen, how about you?
Well, for AFC Championship, I had the Chiefs versus the who was it in my head? The Chiefs versus the Bengals.
Chiefs, Bengals, okay.
Chiefs, Bengals.
I think you meant Bills.
I didn't. I was thinking I had two teams. We go Chiefs, Bengals for the 100th time. Chiefs probably will win that one, even though I'm a Joe Burrow guy. And then NFC, I have Lions versus the Niners. And Jesus, unbiased opinion, the Niners will probably win that if it's a home game. If it's not, I'm going Lions. But I say Chiefs and Niners. But this time, Brock Purdy shows up.
Wow.
And they win. I don't think they cannot lose them twice, man. I'm gonna go with.
You know where Jalen went? Jalen went to Dispo.
No, he did. I can tell you about
Dispo.
Jalen experienced the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products at Dispo Dispensary. They've got over 12 locations, including their new location that is now open in Whitmore Lake. Dispo is never far away. Join the Ermanni and Edwards show with Maz and the Woodward Heavyweights broadcasting live at the Whitmore Lake location on Friday, September 15th. That's a week from Friday. The address is 50 North Territorial Road, Whitmore Lake, Michigan. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and registered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com and register for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today, and it enters you to win. Register at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. So why don't you look good, feel good, and be the best version of yourself with Syntron. drinksyntron.com/Vegas.
I'm sorry, I just read this comment. Coach Walk.
What do you say?
No chance Booner is 5'10", maybe 4'10". I'm 5'10", come on. Broder's like 7'3", that's why I look like this up here with him.
I'm 6'5".
7'3". I'm not, that. You can ask Jalen, Nick, I'm 5'10". Come on, fellas. Dude, I don't like the way Jalen's looking right now. He's gonna lie about it. Real quick, make sure you guys hit the like button here. We're at 188. If we can, let's get to 200 real quick before we get to this next segment. Everyone, I know there's 12 people watching right now that haven't hit like. Smack it, smack it, easy, boom, done. All right, brother.
Booner,
what do we got?
I have a question for you to ask about this game, and I'm gonna throw a hypothetical at you. Let's just say we show up here, we're watching the game Thursday night, and Friday morning we get to celebrate a Lions victory, Lions being 1-0 on the season. What are your expectations after that? What's your confidence level for the rest of the season if the Lions can go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs in the game that they're raising their banners, they're getting their rings? What do you think?
If this happens... I'll be speechless. If this happens, I don't know what I'm going to say. But if they do win this game, the last two days, all day today and yesterday, since we started this show, I've been sitting up here, even when I was on the heavyweights, the morning show, all I've been doing is talking about the Detroit Lions and can they be a contender, and I've been saying how they can contend. If they win this game, it solidifies that they can contend and go win an NFC championship, go win the North. It solidifies that you're going to have a chance to go win that North for the first time since, what, 1993? Is that the year? Do I have the year right, boys? Anyone? 1993 or whatever it is. But that's what it happened. Like, it solidifies that you're a contender. You're out there ready for blood. Like, teams, when you go play the Chargers, that game where we're like, I say no, you say yeah. The Ravens, where we're like, can we beat the Ravens on the road? The Cowboys at home or on the road as well. The last year we struggled with. If you beat the Kansas City Chiefs, my confidence level goes from here all the way to here for every single one of those games.
Yeah.
Every single one.
If they beat the Chiefs, they can beat anyone.
Anyone. Whether it's Chiefs with Travis Kelce, whether it's without Chris Jones, without Travis, whatever it is. If you beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead versus Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you can go out and win any game. It gives me confidence not just for the regular season, but for the playoffs as well. That you can go and play a road game in the playoffs and you can win a game.
Yeah. And aside from just the confidence that you can beat anybody, what that win does for you and how you can approach the rest of the season, it's that extra win that really nobody planned for. I know a lot of us here in the room have picked the Lions to win, but when the schedule came out, that was almost like one of those guaranteed losses on the Lions schedule. But if you do that, it makes – we talked about some of the teams competing in the NFC. The Lions need to get the highest seed possible and set themselves up for success, as many home games in the playoffs as they possibly can. And to do that, they need to limit some of their – or how am I trying to say this? A flop later in the season, which will likely happen.
Yes, like it will. Every team.
The Panthers game last year, that affected the entire season drastically. That kept us out of the playoffs. If we beat the Chiefs, that gives us just a little more a leeway to endure that flop, to deal with that if it comes, and get us that highest seed possible. Are you feeling that, Booner? Are you feeling that, Nick? Nick,
Yeah.
you want to say something. I see that.
No doubt. It gives us the chance to actually get a first-round bye. That's what this Kansas City Chiefs win would mean to me, where we stay out of that wild card round of the playoffs. And I think that would be massive because you stay rested going into that second round.
Well, to that point, too, is obviously the first round bye, you have to have the 1 seed. You're competing for a 1 seed. You beat the Chiefs, and then in the next week you play at home, which we all know in here in the chat. Everyone knows how hard it is right now to play at Ford Field. People around the NFL talk about how loud Ford Field is. And if you beat the Chiefs here, you go into Ford Field, one of the toughest places to play in the NFL right now, and you have a chance to go 2-0, you're competing for a 1 seed right away. You're 2-0. Say you go 2-0 to open up the season, you're in line for a 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, the only place success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Yeah, those are the 2 toughest games
Vince
of the
Lombardi,
years.
they put in the work. Now it's time to go show it. Will you tell us real quick about Woodward and Main Street, a show I really like?
Yes, Woodward and Main Street, and guess what? Tomorrow morning, for all the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions, it is Woodward and Main show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, our own here, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. Episodes will be 2 times a week, Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays 7 to 8 a.m. with the most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, the players, and all things Detroit Lions on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube page. Tomorrow, live at 7 a.m. here, will be Woodward and Main Street.
I'm just going to sleep here. I'm just going to stay here.
Might as well.
Overnight, we'll just start the show tomorrow morning. Coach Prime, what are your thoughts of a Lions start 1-0?
It's it. That's the start. I think the first 2 games are the hardest games of the season for us. You know, it's hard beating Seattle. We had issues last year. I think it'll be a home game this year, so I think we'll be fine. But if we start the season 2-0, I say we lose 4 games. I don't see the Vikings. We can split the Vikings. I think we can split that.
Yeah.
And people keep saying Jordan Love that and all that type of hype. I'm not buying it until I see him play. So maybe that'll change with the Packers. But if we win these first 2 games, we're gonna go 12-5 minimum, 13-4.
Yes.
I'm not backing down from that.
When we did the record prediction yesterday, that's exactly what my mindset was. Is I truly believed. My hat is just absolutely crooked. I truly believe that we can win this game tomorrow, and we will.
Your takes.
So when we did that record breakdown yesterday, that's funny. I believe we beat the Chiefs. 2, week 2, I don't see a home opener with the fans, with the hype, that the Detroit Lions lose that game. I don't see it. I don't see how. I really think there's a great chance you go 2-0, and that's why I picked the Detroit Lions to win 13 games. Because if you start 2-0, the season's set up for you there. You have confidence and you build off of that. Just like when they went that 8-2 last year, they built off of it and they won some games and they just kept going. That's exactly what's going to happen to start the year.
What's the city going to be like if this happens?
Oh man. It's good. Imagine downtown after games, and I mean even before, like tailgates and stuff. Man, it's
absolutely on fire.
Nick
it's gonna
knows
be insane. Yeah, I live down there. It's gonna be a lot.
It's got
of fun.
season tickets.
Yes, sir.
All right, Booner. Tell the people about Big Boy.
Oh yes, Big Boy.
Tell them.
Burgers, sandwiches, everything. Let's go. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy, which I might, if they're open after this, I might go get one. It is burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Are you craving chicken right now? I am. Try the Dolly chicken sandwich or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. That sounds amazing. And save some room for dessert because we have a treat for you. Indulge in our Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake or satisfy your sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries. That sounds amazing too. That's Big Boy. Go get a burger, get a chicken sandwich.
We'll be right back.
Winners, losers, pushes and draws, over-unders, prop bets, futures and spreads. Are you sick and tired of your picks being losers? Do you want to learn how to bet like a champion? Well, Woodward Sports searched the globe for the most dangerous man with a bet slip in his hand and gave him a show. Coming soon to Woodward Sports. Tune in every weekend as we introduce the greatest gambler to ever walk the earth.
Hi, I'm Booner, and I don't lose.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
Downtown Detroit's newest sports bar, 5 Iron Golf, has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Our 5 Iron Leagues are back, debuting on September 11th, so you can compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. So bring a foursome or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. You know what you can also do? You can use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. That is 5irongolf.com to sign up.
5 Iron.
5 Iron. 5 Iron is awesome, by the way.
Great. Yeah, we last Thursday, I believe we all went.
It was a blast, but we're coming down the final stretch. We just told the chat we got big predictions coming, and we're gonna get everybody's.
We've got predictions in that mailbag.
Booner.
Yeah.
And also, I know you said 250 likes, and you're going full Booner bets outfit.
I don't have the sweatshirt.
Mike Hilton, you're gonna chug a beer too, right?
I don't have a beer on me, but I will chug. I'll chug a beer for you tomorrow.
You don't have to
If we
commit to
hit
that.
250 likes tomorrow, on the stream, I'll have the Booner bets fit. I'll chug a beer for you guys on the stream tomorrow.
Thursday about to be crazy.
I'm
Booner
ready.
prediction. I'm pretty sure we all know you picking the Lions to win.
am.
Tell me about this game. What do you think?
All right, do you guys remember last year, Thanksgiving? Buffalo Bills. Do you guys remember that game? 28-25, the Buffalo Bills kicked a field goal at the end to win the game.
28-25.
Amon-Ra touchdown, Jamal Williams touchdown, Jared Goff, decent game. That's exactly what's going to happen tomorrow night. The Bills game that we saw last year is what we're going to see tomorrow night. I have here Jared Goff, 250-plus passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, touchdown. Sam Laporta, touchdown. Possibly, if Sam Laporta doesn't get one, Josh Reynolds, touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 100-plus all-purpose yards. David Montgomery, touchdown. Aiden Hutchinson, at least 1 sack. Book all of that. The Detroit Lions will beat the Kansas City Chiefs 34-27 at Arrowhead tomorrow night. Listen,
Booner!
We're Lion Slappies today and tomorrow. We've been waiting all season for this. The Detroit Lions are winning tomorrow. They're going to become contenders, and the NFL will be on notice. I don't care if Travis Kelce's playing. I don't care if Chris Jones was at McDonald's today handing out burgers. We are beating them 34-27 tomorrow. Book that. David Montgomery touchdown, too. Book it.
Book it.
I love you guys.
Ben Wallace agrees with you.
He does.
He goes, book it.
That
Yes.
motherfucker
You know what I just noticed, though?
Not real.
I put the Booner fit on before the 250 bet.
I was about to call you out on that.
No, I had to. Something went through my vein. It was I think it was just the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid, which I will have some tomorrow night. I think that just hit me too hard here.
Hey, it happens.
I do think, though, it's going to be like that Bills game last year. I know that was 28-25. I think it's going to be a little more high scoring just based on the offenses and kind of what the kind of game we're going to see. But I do think it's about a one-possession game. Lions score a touchdown towards the end, maybe like an Amon-Ra touchdown in the fourth quarter, and then our defense has to go get a stop to end the game. And I think we put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, maybe a CJ interception to kind of close the game out.
All right, I'm going to give you my pick right now after you tell us about the live stream.
Oh, yes, the live stream. Make sure you guys tune in that tomorrow, actually, we're going to be doing the live stream. Nothing better in fall than watching hours of college football and pro football. Sit back, crack open a cold one, line up your bets, and tune in to watch college football and pro football with your favorite Woodward sports personalities. Tomorrow night, we will be streaming. Come join us for the watch party for the game, the Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Saturdays, we're live for Michigan State games, and typically Sundays for Lions games. Make sure you tune in on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube page.
So I think the Chiefs might come out firing out the gate. There's a lot of excitement. They might get the first field goal, maybe a first touchdown. But I have the Lions defeating the Chiefs 31-20.
Wow.
I think Patrick Mahomes is going to get 2 touchdown passes. Harrison Butker is going to get 2 field goals. But that Lions offense continues where it left off last year. Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, they got that connection. Jared Goff, this is the first year of his career. I love this stat. First year of his career, he's had the same offensive coordinator and quarterback coach in back-to-back years. I think they're going to be ready to go, and they're going to win 31-20. Nick.
I love it.
In the sound booth, Nick, give me your prediction for this game.
Let's go. We were lockstep on the 31, but sadly, I'm going to have to agree with you guys, and the Lions come out swinging.
Let's
They
go.
31-28. They control the clock like we want to. Mahomes is going to get his, but it's the offensive line like we came down to what our backbone of this team is. They're going to show us what's really up with this team. Montgomery goes off. Gibbs goes off. That play action works out the way we want it to. And the Lions come back home 1-0.
Like it, love it, gotta have it. Jalen, let me hear your prediction.
-7. -7 Lions if Kelsey plays. -7 if he's at home. -7 if nobody shows up.
They're gonna lose?
We're gonna win.
Win by 7?
Come on now. -7. I got -7, -2.5. Money line. I'm on Lions. I'm not. We can win 35-28. I'm going Lions. I'm locked in. I think Demon's going to score. I'm really big on that. I want to see Sam catch one in the red zone. That'd be nice, too.
Ooh.
But I think Jared Goff, 2 touchdowns maybe. And I think Gibbs, he may score 2 on like a wheel route, something like that. But -7 is my highest pitch. I'm not worried. We're going to win regardless, but to be funny, we can put -7.
I'm a little nervous that, I don't know, like on other like different networks when they do game predictions, and at the bottom it's like all one team. We just did that. Like if we had a graphic right now, it would just be all Detroit Lions across the board right now.
The Lions graphic, line.
Yeah, that just kind of killed me a little bit, but I love all you boys for riding with the Detroit Lions here. I think tomorrow's going to be exciting. We have the live stream. We have a bunch of things going on. I think we get into mailbag a little early here, a couple minutes early. We go to break.
I would love it. You're going to tell them about Lady Jane's.
I've got Lady Jane's here. Let me tell you real quick. I need a haircut. I'm going to get one soon, probably tomorrow or Friday. But come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it's wicked awesome.
It's wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? and even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Wondering where the best Lions tailgate is? Look no further. It's easy. Eastern Market, the official Detroit Lions tailgate party at shed number 5 in Eastern Market. Woodward Sports will be broadcasting live for every home game. It will feature a 3-star Michelin buffet from Chef Ermanni, VIP parking, and even tickets if you need them. How do you sign up? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com and tailgate like a VIP. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Let's go. We are back here. The Woodward Night Show here. I'm Booner. We've got Broder here. Yes. We've got Jalen in the house, and we've got Nick here. Excuse me, guys. I think I'm losing my voice. I'm not going to lie, which is not good for tomorrow because tomorrow is...
You got a lot of talking to do tomorrow.
A huge day tomorrow.
Ask us anything, though. I know you got a question teed up you saw from Denver Blair.
Denver Blair. He asked, does Riley Patterson miss a field goal tomorrow?
Why you gotta put that in my head?
I don't like that.
Oh,
when I read it, I had to ask it. That's one you have to ask.
He might. What do you think?
Will he be kicking from past 50 yards is the question.
That's facts.
If he will not miss a field goal. I don't know. I don't know what to say. This is a trap question. If I say no, then he will. If I say yeah, then he will. I don't know. I'm passing on that question, Denver.
I think he might.
See what you did there.
He might. I don't think it's going to lose us the game. I got to call out one comment from the great Tom Izzo, head coach for Michigan State. I know it's not the real Tom Izzo, but Booner looks like he gives recruits cheeseburgers illegally.
Yes, I do.
You dog.
100%.
You dog. What else we got?
NCAA, come get me. Can't get a guy like this.
Mailbag, will DMAC open up 2 Cintrons with a chainsaw? He could. He could probably do it with his hands tied behind his back.
This is a good one here.
What?
Steve G. One name I realized I didn't hear much was Cam Sutton. What did you guys see from him with your time around the team? Well, first, I will start here because I'm not around the team, but I think there's a reason we don't hear a lot about him is because he gets his work done, and he kind of works in silence, and he is just like, he's a dog. Yeah. And I think it's a good thing that we really haven't heard anything. I'll let you kind of talk about being around the team with him, though.
He's looked great. He's just been that steady force playing the cornerback 1 position, going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, going up against who's ever split out wide, maybe that top receiver from the other team. He's looked really good in all aspects. There's a lot of hype around, or a lot of the secondary is loud with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kirby. There's a lot of energy. Cam Sutton certainly plays with that type of energy, but he's a little quieter. But don't take that away from his toughness. The dude can play, and it's been really great watching him. I think you can expect a big year out of him. What an addition.
Oh, here we go. Tom Izzo back for another one. If the Spartans win more games than Michigan, you owe me that chain and a cheeseburger. And they don't, then I will profess my love of Jim Harbaugh. I'll take that deal.
Take it.
And you have to profess your love with that same profile on every single show, every comment you have for that next day. That's a deal. Shake on it. Handshake deal.
Handshake. Bang. Steve G, you might have already read one of his questions, but I see another one. AMA, am I the only one that gets 90s Wings vibes from this football team? It feels the same. Since all you guys are young, are Utes. I don't even know if you know what movie that quote is from. There's a little bit of Wings vibes to it. I got to think about this a little more to connect it, but those Wings, those days of the Wings, Sergei Fedorov, Steve Yzerman, The Russian 5, the grind line, Darren McCarty.
Yeah.
That's Stanley Cup #1 back in, I think it was 98 was his first. I hope I didn't get that wrong. Steve G, that's a good connection.
Look at this. Charles Dickerson. For $50,000, do you think you can guard Braylon Edwards for one play? No way.
No.
Hell no.
Zero. You guys think I'm 4'10" in the chat. You think I can guard Braylon Edwards? Bray would destroy me.
I think played baseball at a decently high level. If
you might have a chance.
I would no, stop.
No.
I don't. I would never go up against Braylon, Lindsey Hunter, or Darren McCarty. Those guys are on a different level. Professional athletes are
completely different.
Auteur, my guy, I've been seeing you in the chat a lot. Does anyone think it could be an 80-plus point game? And are you taking the over and under at 70? Mahomes and Goff previously put up 105 points in a shootout.
I love in football just to take the over. It's like it's the funnest thing to do. Maybe I will tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. My only 2 plays so far are David Montgomery touchdown and Lions +6. But there's an 80% chance that when the game's about to start that I just throw a bunch of money on the over. That is usually how it works for me.
Nick, you got something to say?
So much fun betting the over, but sometimes, boys, you got to be smart.
You do sometimes.
You got to sprinkle the under sometimes. I know it's not as fun, but I actually made money on stream that first Spartan game on the under. So don't be afraid to sprinkle every now and then.
Love it.
And
Booner,
yeah.
Tell us about Rivals real quick.
Yes, Woodward Rivals. This is a great show, too, by the way. And I believe Woodward Rivals is actually going to be on Friday this week, not Thursday. It says Thursday there. That's the Broder's, the Detroit Lions reporter show. It will be Friday from 7 to 8 a.m., I believe. Woodward Sports resident Sparty, Spencer Raxter, and Walmart Wolverine, Flannel Sam go head-to-head in Woodward Sports' latest show, Woodward Rivals. Do not miss Flannel Sam breaking down why this may be the year for U of M, or heavyweight Spencer Raxter body slamming every Flannel Sam take that comes his way. That will be this week from 7 to 8 a.m. on Friday, and typically all other weeks Thursday from 7 to 8 a.m. on our YouTube channel.
OK Yeez says, do you all think anybody on the Lions can win the MVP this season? I'm going to say no. I do think Jared Goff, if he takes his game up a notch, I'm a big Jared Goff fan. I think he could be in the conversation in that top 5. I think it's going to be a hard one to win. Does anyone on the Lions have a chance to win MVP?
I think the only one would have to be Jared Goff. The MVP is like a quarterback award. So like if you're going to have a player that does it, it has to be your quarterback. Unless you have a guy like a Justin Jefferson, which Justin Jefferson did what he did last year, and he didn't even get it. Or Cooper Kupp a couple years ago had like the best year of a wide receiver of all time and didn't even win MVP. So I would say Jared Goff.
I would say Goff as well. If we get to 14 wins, maybe a massive amount of touchdowns and, under 7 interceptions.
True. Tyler Chalvet, I think CJ could be a fringe defensive player of the year. That's a good one. I think Aiden Hutchinson could have a chance there as well. Dude, Steve Reinhardt, thanks for showing up, man. We appreciate you, even if it's just for a minute. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Tyler here. If you project CJ's stats for a full season from last year, he would have been a fringe defensive player of the year. That is a fact. We talked about that yesterday for him being like his all-pro status. I do believe he's an all-pro player this year. Just based off that. If he plays in all 17 games for the Lions, he should have been an all-pro last year in 12 games. He could have done it in 12 games last year. This year, you look at it, you can give it to him in 17 games. If he plays all 17, he's an all-pro defensive player. You could argue. I don't know the last time a corner won defensive player of the year or a safety won defensive player of the year, but maybe.
Who will score the most points? Asked by Brian Zingler. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Riley Patterson? Kicker Riley Patterson. Booner first, Nick, then Jalen.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh, man, I don't...
In one game, this is tough.
You know what? I'm going to make a bold take here. It's a tie.
2 field goals for
6
Riley?
6.
1 tutty?
Oh, wait, no. It's Riley. Riley's going to get the 1 points after touchdowns. In my score prediction here, I had the Detroit Lions getting 2 field goals. So I have to give Riley Patterson at least 6 points. And I believe I had them giving 4 touchdowns. So that's 9 points right there, or 10 points right there.
Going with St. Brown, we know he's Goff's guy, and he's going to be going to him a lot tomorrow night.
Is that with 1 touchdown or with...
I got him with 2 tutties.
Okay. I love that. St. Brown or kicker Riley Patterson?
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Riley Patterson, no. St. Brown, maybe I have 2 tugs tomorrow. Hopefully we don't have to kick any field goals. Hopefully we don't, get all touchdowns, but I'm not buying the Patterson hype. I refuse. Not a chance, Broder.
I think it might be a tie.
I'm not buying the Patterson hype.
I think Patterson ends up with 6. 3, what I have him at 31 points. He's going to get 3 extra points and 1 field goal. St. Brown gets 1 tutty.
That's a fair one,
Tied
too.
at 6. You know what time it just turned to. 10 o'clock.
Make sure you hit like.
Show number 2. On your way out, please hit that like. We thank every single one of you for joining us tonight on Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. From Jalen, from Nick, from my guy Booner, the man, the most dangerous man with the bet slip in his hand.
We're off tomorrow, by the way, everyone.
We are off tomorrow, but there will be streams all afternoon, all evening, all night for Woodward Sports, so come hang out. For Booner, I'm Matt Broder. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.